Welcome to The Truth Chronicles, a journey where we unravel the hidden layers of some of the most iconic figures in history. We dig deeper, past the surface, beyond the glitz and glamour, to reveal the human stories that often remain untold. Today we delve into the life of a woman who needs no introduction. An emblem of beauty and sensuality, she is recognized worldwide even decades after her untimely demise. She is Marilyn Monroe, but before the spotlight, before the fame, she was Norma Jean Mortenson, a little girl with a troubled past, dreaming of a brighter future. Join us as we embark on this journey from the humble beginnings of Norma Jean to the rise of the iconic star Marilyn Monroe. It's a tale of resilience, transformation, and enduring fame. So sit back, relax, and let's begin our journey into the life of this extraordinary woman. A journey that reminds us that beneath the veneer of stardom, our idols are human just like us. Have you ever wondered about the early life of the legendary Marilyn Monroe before the glitz and glamour? Often, the stories of our favorite stars begin far outside the spotlight's reach, and Marilyn Monroe is no exception. Born as Norma Jean Mortenson on June 1, 1926, in the bustling city of Los Angeles, her beginnings were anything but glamorous. Her mother, Gladys Baker, was a figure shadowed by mental illness. Norma Jean was just an infant when Gladys was institutionalized, leaving her in the care of foster parents. Imagine a childhood marked by a constant shifting from one home to another, never truly settling, never truly belonging. This was Norma Jean's reality. At the tender age of 6, she found herself in an orphanage, a place she would call home for the next 2 years. It was a stark contrast to the luxury and fame she would later experience, but it was a part of her journey nonetheless. In 1937, Gladys Baker was released from the mental institution, and she tried to reclaim her role as a mother to Norma Jean. Yet the stability that a young girl needs from her mother was something Gladys could not provide. Her mental health issues served as an unyielding barrier between her and her daughter. Once again, Norma Jean was placed in the care of foster parents. This revolving door of homes became the backdrop of her early years, a far cry from the glitz and glamour that would later define her. In the midst of this tumultuous upbringing, a young girl named Norma Jean Mortenson was being shaped, her experiences forming the foundation upon which she would build her future. Little did she know that she was destined to become Marilyn Monroe, an icon who would capture the hearts of millions worldwide. As we delve into her journey, it's important to remember that beneath the veneer of glamour and fame, there was a person who had experienced trials and tribulations just like the rest of us. Norma Jean's early life, fraught with instability, was a far cry from the glamorous image she would later cultivate. How did Norma Jean Mortenson become Marilyn Monroe, the iconic Hollywood actress? This is a question that has intrigued many over the years. Well, let's delve into that story. The year was 1944, and Norma Jean was just 18 years old. She had married James Doherty, a fellow worker at the radioplane munitions factory where she was employed as a file clerk. It was here that she first encountered David Conover, a photographer tasked with capturing images of women contributing to the war effort during World War II. Conover was immediately taken by Norma Jean's charm and natural beauty. He asked her a question that would change the course of her life. Have you ever considered modeling? Embracing this newfound opportunity, Norma Jean embarked on a modeling career. She graced the covers of magazines and posed for pin-up photo shoots, capturing the hearts of many with her radiant smile and captivating presence. It wasn't long before Hollywood took notice. By 1946, the young woman once known as Norma Jean had transformed. She adopted the name Marilyn Monroe, a name as glamorous and magnetic as she hoped her acting career would be. The same year, she signed a contract with 20th Century Fox, a significant leap from her days at the munitions factory. The transformation of Norma Jean Mortenson into Marilyn Monroe was not merely a change of name, it was a metamorphosis of a young woman with dreams into an iconic figure that would leave an indelible mark on Hollywood's golden era. It was the emergence of a starlet who would charm audiences with her talent, beauty, and vulnerability. Marilyn Monroe, the name that would echo through the corridors of Hollywood fame, was born not just from a contract or a change of name, but from the aspirations, talent, and determination of a young woman named Norma Jean Mortenson. The transformation from Norma Jean to Marilyn Monroe marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life, a chapter that would see her rise as a Hollywood star, navigating the glitz, glamour, and challenges that came with it. But that's a story for another time. What were the key moments that catapulted Marilyn Monroe into stardom, one might ask? Well, let's delve into that captivating journey. After a few small roles in films like The Shocking Miss Pilgrim and Dangerous Years, Marilyn found herself at the precipice of her breakthrough moment. The year was 1953 and the film was Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Playing the role of the sublime Lorelei Lee, she shared the screen with Jane Russell, and together they created pure cinematic magic. Monroe's performance was not just well received, it was adored. Critics praised her comedic timing, her sensuality, and above all, her undeniable charisma. The film was a resounding success, and Marilyn Monroe, with her signature blonde locks and sultry persona, had arrived in Hollywood. But this was just the beginning. The same year, Monroe starred in How to Marry a Millionaire, adding another feather to her cap. Here she portrayed Paula Debevoise, a visually impaired model who refuses to wear glasses, leading to a series of comic misadventures. The film was a commercial success, and Monroe's performance, brimming with charm and wit, was highly praised. Then came the year 1955, and with it, The 7-Year Itch. This film gave us one of the most iconic images of Marilyn Monroe, standing on a subway grate, her white dress billowing around her. Her portrayal of the character The Girl, an attractive and somewhat naive woman living above a married man, was both endearing and captivating. The film was a box office hit, and Monroe's performance was lauded for its perfect blend of innocence and allure. And who could forget Some Like It Hot in 1959? Monroe played Sugarcane Kowalczyk, a ukulele player and singer in a women's band. Her performance, filled with humor and vulnerability, won over audiences and critics alike. The film was an enormous success, ranking at the top of box office charts and won numerous awards. With each role, Marilyn Monroe proved her mettle as an actress. She wasn't just a pretty face, she was a talented performer who could make the audience laugh, cry, and most importantly, feel. Her roles varied from naive and innocent characters to sultry and smart ones, showcasing her range and versatility as an actress. But it wasn't just her acting prowess that made her a star. It was her magnetic personality, her undeniable charm, and her ability to command the screen. She was a woman who knew how to turn life's lemons into the most delicious lemonade, and she did it with grace, wit, and an unwavering sense of self. With each movie role, Marilyn Monroe's star shone brighter, solidifying her iconic status. From a young woman named Norma Jean, she had transformed into Marilyn Monroe, the epitome of Hollywood glamour and the quintessential blonde bombshell. It was not just a transformation, it was the rise of a star that continues to shine in the annals of Hollywood history. What lay behind the glamorous public persona of Marilyn Monroe? Behind the sparkle of Marilyn Monroe's public persona, there was a woman named Norma Jean Mortenson who battled personal demons throughout her life. Her struggles were not as well documented as her successes, yet they were just as much a part of her narrative. Marilyn's early life was marked by instability and hardship. The absence of a stable home environment and the mental illness of her mother left indelible scars on young Norma Jean. As she grew older, this difficult start in life manifested in various forms, including a history of abuse, addiction, and mental health issues. Marilyn's struggles with depression and anxiety were particularly challenging, and unfortunately, they weren't as openly discussed during her time as they are today. In addition to her psychological struggles, Marilyn also faced physical challenges. Despite her public image as a symbol of fertility and sensuality, she suffered from numerous miscarriages, a heartache that she carried silently and privately. Marilyn's personal relationships were also a source of pain and turmoil. Her 3 marriages, to James Dougherty, Joe DiMaggio, and Arthur Miller, were all marked by their own unique struggles and all ultimately ended in divorce. Each relationship was a tumultuous journey of highs and lows, marked by intense passion and equally intense conflict. Her relationship with James Dougherty was a youthful marriage of convenience that ended when Marilyn's career took off. Her union with Joe DiMaggio, a baseball superstar, was characterized by his struggle to reconcile with Marilyn's fame and sex symbol status. Her marriage to Arthur Miller, a renowned playwright, began as a union of two creative minds, but ended amidst accusations of infidelity and emotional neglect. Amidst all of this, rumors swirled about Marilyn's alleged affairs with powerful men, the most famous being President John F. Kennedy. These rumors, whether true or not, added another layer of complexity to Marilyn's already complicated personal life. They painted a picture of a woman who was constantly seeking love and acceptance, often in the wrong places. In many ways, Marilyn Monroe's personal life mirrored the tragedy of her on-screen characters. Despite her glamorous image, she was a woman who knew pain, heartbreak, and loneliness. She was a woman who, despite her fame and success, was constantly searching for love and acceptance. Marilyn Monroe may have been an iconic movie star and a global sex symbol, but it's important to remember that behind the glitz and glamour was a woman who faced real struggles. Her life serves as a reminder that fame and success do not exempt one from personal hardship and mental health challenges. Despite her public image of glamour and success, Marilyn's personal life was marked by struggle and heartache. What if I told you one of Hollywood's brightest stars began as a neglected child in foster homes? Yes, I speak of the iconic Marilyn Monroe. Born Norma Jean Mortenson in the year 1926, our star's story begins in the sunny city of Los Angeles. Yet her childhood was far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Norma Jean's mother, Gladys, struggled with mental health issues, which tragically prevented her from providing a stable home for her daughter. As a result, young Norma Jean spent most of her early years in a series of foster homes and orphanages. It was a challenging time, one that required her to grow up much faster than most children her age. But even amidst these trying circumstances, there were glimmers of the star she was destined to become. From an early age, Norma Jean was noted for her radiant smile and natural charm. There was an undeniable spark in her, a luminous quality that could light up any room. Yet her life was far from the silver screen dreams she harbored. At the tender age of 16, Norma Jean made a decision that would forever change her life. Seeking a way out of the foster care system, she entered into her first marriage with a young man named James Doherty. It was a choice born out of necessity rather than love, a desperate attempt to escape the instability of her past. Little did she know that this decision would set her on a path that would lead her to become one of the most celebrated personalities in Hollywood. So you see, the story of Marilyn Monroe is not just a tale of glamour and fame, it is a narrative of resilience, of a young woman who rose above her circumstances to become a symbol of beauty and strength. It's the story of a girl named Norma Jean Mortenson, who transformed into Marilyn Monroe, the dazzling star who continues to captivate the world. From these humble beginnings, a star was about to rise. A factory worker, a model, and then the camera loved her, the world loved her. Monroe was born. In the early 1940s, Norma Jean Mortenson, later known as Marilyn Monroe, was just another factory worker contributing to the war effort. As she tightened bolts and inspected parachutes, little did she know that her life was about to take a dramatic turn. The year was 1944. When a young military photographer spotted Monroe and her radiant smile. Captivated, he clicked a photo that would change her life forever. The camera had fallen in love with her, and soon so would the world. Monroe transitioned from the factory to the glitz and glam of modeling. Her effervescent charm and unique beauty caught the eyes of many, and in no time she was gracing the covers of popular magazines, yet Monroe desired more. She yearned for the magic of the silver screen and the allure of Hollywood. Her perseverance led her to the doors of 20th Century Fox in 1946. More than just a contract, this was a rebirth. Norma Jean Mortenson was no more. Instead, the world was introduced to Marilyn Monroe, a name that would echo through the annals of Hollywood history. Her early roles were minor, but Monroe's talent was anything but. She shone in every scene, her screen presence undeniable. Each performance was a stepping stone leading her towards stardom. From All About Eve to Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Monroe was making her mark and the world was taking notice. Her name change was more than just a rebranding, it was a testament to her transformation from a factory worker to a model and finally to a movie star. It was a journey of resilience, determination, and sheer talent. Monroe was not just another pretty face, she was a talent to be reckoned with. Behind the glamorous facade, Monroe battled demons of her own. Beneath the glittering veneer of Hollywood glory, Marilyn Monroe grappled with a tumultuous personal life, marked by addiction, mental health issues, and heart-wrenching miscarriages. The allure of the silver screen often masked the gritty reality of her struggles, creating a stark contrast between her public persona and private anguish. Addiction was an unwelcome companion in Monroe's life. She battled dependencies on barbiturates, a class of drugs often prescribed for insomnia and anxiety. These substances offered a temporary escape from the relentless pressures of fame, but they also deepened her struggles, ensnaring her in a vicious cycle of dependency and despair. Monroe's mental health was another battleground. She grappled with depression, a formidable foe that cast long, dark shadows over her life. The glitz and glamour of Hollywood couldn't dispel the clouds of her inner turmoil, leading her to seek solace in psychoanalysis. Yet her mental health issues remained a constant struggle, adding another layer to her complex persona. Her personal life was marked by a series of tumultuous marriages and divorces. Monroe was married 3 times, each relationship ending in divorce and further heartache. Her marriages to James Dougherty, Joe DiMaggio, and Arthur Miller were all fraught with controversy, with each relationship subjected to the relentless scrutiny of the public eye. Perhaps the most poignant of Monroe's personal struggles were her miscarriages. Longing for motherhood, she experienced several miscarriages that left her heartbroken and bereft. The pain of these losses was a harsh contrast to her on-screen image of radiant beauty and vivacious charm, revealing a side of Monroe that the public rarely saw. Despite the adversities, Monroe never failed to shine on the silver screen. Her struggles and controversies added depth to her performances, infusing them with a raw vulnerability that resonated with audiences. Through it all, Monroe remained a beacon of resilience, her luminous presence undimmed by the personal battles she waged behind closed doors. On August 5, 1962, the world lost Monroe, but the mystery surrounding her death persists. A life that was a whirlwind of fame, beauty, and tragedy was cut short abruptly. On that fateful day, Marilyn Monroe, one of the most iconic figures of Hollywood, was found lifeless in her Brentwood home, a haunting image that sent shockwaves throughout the world. Monroe was just 36 years old when she met her untimely death. The official cause was ruled as a probable suicide, with an empty bottle of barbiturates found nearby. It was a tragic end to a life that was marred by struggles with addiction and mental health issues. Despite the glamour and glitz that surrounded her, Monroe's personal life was a labyrinth of pain and turmoil, a stark contrast to the vivacious persona she portrayed on screen. Yet the circumstances surrounding Monroe's death have always been shrouded in mystery. In the decades that followed, numerous theories have emerged that suggest different scenarios. Some believe that it was not suicide but an accidental overdose. Others even suggest a more sinister plot hinting at the possibility of murder. These theories stem from the inconsistencies and discrepancies that were found in the initial investigation. There were questionable actions, unexplained events, and missing pieces of evidence that have fueled speculation and conspiracy theories. Even after all these years, the truth about Monroe's death remains elusive, adding another layer of intrigue to her already fascinating life. Regardless of the circumstances of her death, what cannot be disputed is the impact Monroe had on the world. Her death marked the end of an era, leaving behind a legacy that continues to endure. She was more than just a Hollywood starlet. She was a symbol of beauty, a beacon of resilience, an icon who will never be forgotten. Monroe's life story is a poignant reminder that fame and fortune are not always synonymous with happiness. Behind the radiant smile and the glamorous image was a woman who was battling her own demons, a woman who was desperately searching for love and acceptance in a world that was often cruel and unforgiving. A life so vibrant ended in an eerie silence. Yet in that silence, Monroe's spirit continues to echo, reminding us of the woman who dared to dream, who dared to be different, and who left an indelible mark on the world. Monroe's physical presence may have extinguished, but her legacy continues to glow. Marilyn Monroe, the woman who captured the hearts of millions, left a profound impact on popular culture that transcends time. Her influence is felt far beyond the silver screen, reaching into the realms of art, fashion, and music. Monroe's image, a tantalizing blend of innocence and sex appeal, her platinum blonde hair, and her signature red lipstick, became her trademark look. This style continues to inspire artists and designers around the world who incorporate her iconic aesthetic into their work. Her breathy voice, a result of chronic respiratory issues, became her distinctive singing style, enchanting audiences then and now. Her films, a testament to her talent and charisma, are still widely watched and studied. Many of her movies, such as Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, The 7-Year Itch, and Some Like It Hot, remain classics of Hollywood cinema, and Monroe's performances continue to captivate audiences across generations. Beyond her image, Monroe was a woman of depth and substance. Despite her blonde bombshell persona, she was a natural brunette and a talented actress who studied method acting under Lee Strasberg. She was known for her punctuality and professionalism on set, a testament to her dedication to her craft. Monroe's conversion to Judaism during her marriage to Arthur Miller demonstrated her intellectual curiosity and willingness to explore different cultures and traditions. Her friendship with Ella Fitzgerald and her advocacy for Fitzgerald's casting in Let's Make Love showcased Monroe's commitment to breaking down racial barriers in Hollywood. Her love for animals, particularly dogs, revealed a tender side to her personality that endeared her to many. Monroe's famous Happy Birthday, Mr. President dress, a shimmering testament to her star power, sold at auction for $1.2 million in 1999, a testament to her enduring appeal. Marilyn Monroe, a name etched in golden letters in the annals of Hollywood, continues to captivate hearts even after her demise. Monroe's life was as bright as a shooting star, illuminating the hearts of millions, forever leaving a trail of stardust in our minds. The impact that Marilyn Monroe had on the world is not something that can be measured or quantified. Her influence transcended her physical existence and continues to resonate in the world today. Her life story, filled with triumphs, tragedies, and endless controversies, serves as a reminder of the price of fame and the human behind the icon. Her roles in some of the most iconic movies of all time, her unique style, and her groundbreaking efforts in breaking down racial barriers in Hollywood continue to inspire people around the globe. However, it is her humanity, her struggles, and her resilience that truly make her an everlasting star. Today, millions of fans around the world remember her not just for her beauty and talent, but for her courage, her intelligence, and her unwavering spirit. Marilyn's story serves as an inspiration to those who dream of achieving greatness, reminding us all that stars, no matter how bright, are human too. As we continue to remember and celebrate the legacy of Marilyn Monroe, we also remember the woman who, despite her fame, was a human being with dreams, aspirations, and struggles just like the rest of us. In the end, it is this humanity that makes Marilyn Monroe an everlasting star. Outro, thanks for watching this episode of The Truth Chronicles. We hope you've gained a deeper understanding of Marilyn Monroe, the woman behind the icon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such insightful videos. See you in the next episode.